Israel's isolation was further sealed yesterday after the war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu tried to bully Australia for taking a stand against an Israeli lawmaker known for making inflammatory remarks and justifying the destruction of Palestine. Canberra didn't blink. It cancelled the visa of Simcha Rothman hours before his speaking tour, and because of Australia's visa rules that automatically triggers a 3-year exclusion. Netanyahu then exploded online and, true to form, Tel Aviv retaliated by revoking the visas of Australian representatives to the Palestinian Authority and ordering extra scrutiny on future Australian visa applications. All of this land as Australia signals it will move at the UN toward recognition of the State of Palestine, and I said it weeks ago. Canberra is in for a long ride with the extremist government in occupied Tel Aviv. What struck me watching Anthony Albanese and Penny Wong speak was the confidence. Watch him first and I'll be back to tell you something shocking.
The world has been calling for a two-state solution. It's been a bipartisan position here in Australia for decades. One of those states is Israel. It needs to continue to exist, but exist in a secure way, with its security assured, with recognition by the countries around Israel in the Middle East, recognising its right to exist as a majority Jewish state. In return, as well, a Palestinian state must be demilitarised, can have no role for Hamas. There needs to be reform of governance as well. And the international community are saying we just can't continue with the cycle of violence that has occurred over and over again, where people are defined, generations are defined by 1967 war, 1973 war, First Intifada, Second Intifada, and then October 7.
And when you talk
what we need is a realisation of the vision that was there from the very beginning, which is the creation of two states, because it's very clear.
This announcement triggered a chain reaction because, get this, Australia is literally a country still reckoning with its own history on stolen land. Standing with Israel against the indigenous people of Palestine would be the ultimate hypocrisy for a nation that overturned terra nullius in the Mabo decision, apologized to the stolen generations, and says it believes in a rules-based order. If you claim to value truth-telling and reconciliation at home, the right move abroad is simple. Make it crystal clear that snatching land in the West Bank, destroying Gaza, and systematically undermining a viable Palestinian state will not be tolerated. That's why Canberra had already slapped Magnitsky-style sanctions and travel bans on violent West Bank settlers in 2024. And if you want to argue with me, watch the video of religious Zionism lawmaker Simcha Rothman, whose own words about Palestinian children being enemies set off this latest diplomatic storm, and tell me in the comments if you wouldn't revoke his visa if you had the power. If you found this breakdown useful, like the video so more people see it, drop a comment on whether Canberra should go further with arms embargoes and trade restrictions, and subscribe if you haven't already.
The children are your enemies?
They are our enemies. Israel, until now, has more protection of human life and children in Gaza than ever.
These children are dying of hunger because you have not been allowing aid. This is extreme.
They are not dying of hunger, and in any conflict that England was involved in the past, in this kind of environments, there were more innocent civilians killed and suffering hunger and everything else.
Mr. Smotrich, your leader, has said that the people of Gaza should leave, that the aim is to get them to leave.
It's a combat zone. When there is a combat zone, when there is a terrorist organization who is hiding behind civilians, you should let them run away. And if you are blocking them, you're aiding and abetting a terrorist organization, using them as human shields. That's not a moral thing to do. And if the United Kingdom want to be a humanitarian country that cares about human rights and human lives, they would help the Gazans who wants to leave the area, who leave, and not aid Hamas to use them as human shields.
I've got an idea. Why don't you let them come over the border into Israel? Why don't they flee into
Because they
Israel?
are our enemies. because they are
The children are your enemies?
They are our enemies, and according to international treaties about refugees in the time of war, you don't let them conquer your country.
This and other videos are precisely why he was targeted. Even if Home Affairs didn't publish a single gotcha quote, the pattern is obvious. The rhetoric is dehumanizing and the policy outcomes are catastrophic. This is not anti-Semitism. It's a government applying its own standards about public order and rejecting incitement that threatens social cohesion. The next video clip from a Gaza hospital explains Australia's indignation even better.
The situation here is catastrophic here at Nasser Medical Complex. The patients here are with very complex injuries, traumatic, very sophisticated, targeted areas where they are injured. They are shot in the head, chest, abdomen, and pelvis mainly. They arrive very critical, and it's very challenging to use the limited supplies at hand to help maintain stability with them. It emotionally is unbearable at times. The desperation, the need for just basic healthcare needs are lacking here due to the blockade. I hope being here I can provide some assistance, but as you can see, the amount of deaths are overwhelming. All this can be preventable by a ceasefire, by opening the borders, by allowing the Palestinians to seek better health care or allow supplies in. I hope that my time here can provide some assistance to these patients.
On the ground, details like these matters because the majority of those paying the price are children, and the legal context has shifted decisively. In July 2024, the International Court of Justice issued a landmark advisory opinion. Israel's continued presence in the occupied Palestinian territory is unlawful and must end as rapidly as possible. That opinion doesn't live on Twitter. It lives in the UN system and binds how responsible states behave. And if the criminal occupation is so pained about Canberra's sober gesture, what will they say about the rising number of people shutting down or blockading facilities tied to Israel's war machine across Britain?
I'm taking direct action today at Leonardo's weapons manufacturer in Edinburgh, where we're looking to halt the production of the F-35 component parts that are made here and used to indiscriminately massacre civilians in Gaza. I look at a presence already. I'm locked onto the top of the van. We're looking to shut down the factory for as long as we can.
Later, in an interview with Sky News Australia on Sunday, Albanese doubled down. Australia backs a two-state outcome.
Everyone can see what Gaza looks like on their TV screens. And we need to, as an international community, not just sit back. No one's saying this is easy. If it was easy, it would have happened for some time. And the truth is that there have been a couple of occasions where a path forward should have been seized, but it didn't occur. This time round, you are having the international community overwhelmingly just saying we need a pathway. And for the people who are saying this is the wrong direction, they need to come up with an alternative pathway, because quite clearly at the moment it is not providing for peace, and the idea that you just relocate an entire nation, which some have suggested, is obviously not tenable.
Pair this interview with France co-chairing UN efforts and the momentum toward formal recognition next month, and you can see why Netanyahu is lashing out at Albanese personally. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button to spread the word, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. We're committed to keeping the pressure on until accountability becomes a standard. God bless you.